Well, maybe.
10, 9, 8, 7.
Harry, stop.
There is something I'm tempted to tell you, I think. I've never done this before, and I wonder how it would pan out. I wonder if I could ask you a silly question.
Oh, John, we're teachers. We answer silly questions all the time.
Hey.
What if a man from the Upper Paleolithic survived until the present day?
What do you mean, survived? Never died?
Yes. What would he be like?
Oh, I know some guys. You ever been to the Ozarks?
It's an interesting idea. What, are you working on a science fiction story?
Say I am. What would he be like?
Pretty tired.
Well, seriously, as Art's book title suggests, he might be like any of us.
Dan, a caveman?
Well, there's no anatomical difference between, say, a Cro-Magnon and us.
Except that as a rule, we've grown taller.
What's the selective advantage of height?
Better to see predators in tall grass, my dear.
Naturally, tall and skinny radiates heat more effectively in warmer climates.
Yeah, and as for Neanderthals, I mean, we've all seen apish people. I mean, that strain's still with us.
But he'd be a caveman.
No, he wouldn't. John's hypothetical man would have lived through 140 centuries.
Yeah, roughly.
And changed if every one of them. I mean, assuming normal intelligence.
Well, we think men of the Upper Paleolithic were as intelligent as we are.
They just didn't know as much. John's man would have learned as the race learned. In fact, if he had an inquiring mind, his knowledge might be astonishing. If you do write that, let me have a look at it. I'm sure you'll make some anthropological boners.
It's a deal.
What would keep him alive?
What does the biologist say?
Cigarettes. And ice cream. all right, I'll play. All right, in science fiction terms, I would say perfect regeneration of the body's cells, especially in the vital organs. Actually, the human body appears designed to live about 190 years. Most of us just die of slow poisoning.
Maybe he did something right, something everybody else in history done wrong.
What, like eat the food, drink the water, and breathe the air?
Now, prior to modern times, those were pristine.
We've extended our lifespan in a world that's not fit to live in.
You know what could happen? Yeah, the pancreas turns over cells every 24 hours, the stomach lining in 3 days, the entire body in 7 years, but the process falters. Waste accumulates, eventually proves fatal to function. Now, if a quirk in his immune system led to perfect detox, perfect renewal, then yeah, he could duck decay.
That's a secret we'd all love to have.
Would you really want to do that? Live 14,000 years?
Well, if I could stay healthy and I didn't age, I mean, why not?
Yeah. What a chance to learn.
Is anyone hungry?
Yeah.
Hey, you know, the more I think about it, yeah, it's possible. Anything is possible, right? After all, one century's magic, another century's science. They thought Columbus was a nut job, right? Pasteur, Copernicus.
Aristarchus long before that.
Right.
I had a chance to sail with Columbus, only I'm not the adventurous type.
What?
I was pretty sure the Earth was round, but at that point I still thought he might fall off an edge someplace.
Look around, John. We just did.
I suppose there's a joke in there somewhere, but I don't get it.
It's nothing to get.
Well, what are we talking about?
We were just talking about a caveman who survives until the present time.
As you said, what a chance to learn once I learned to learn.
Did you start the whiskey before we got here?
Pretend it's science fiction. Figure it out.
Okay, a very old Cro-Magnon living until the present.
What?
John just confided that he's 14,000 years old.
Oh, John, you don't look a day over 900.
Okay.
All right, Spock, I'll play your little game. What do you want? What's the punchline?
Every 10 years or so, when people start to notice I don't age, I move on.
That's very good. That's very quick, John. I want to read that story when you're done.
You want more?
Oh, yeah, by all means. This is great. All right, now, so you think that you are a Cro-Magnon?
Well, I didn't learn it in school. It's my best guess, based on archaeological data, maps, anthropological research. Since Mesopotamia, I've got the last 4,000 years straight.
Well, you're ahead of most people, so please go on.
Well, you know the background stuff, so I'll make it brief. What I call my first lifetime, I aged to about 35. What you see. I ended up leading my group. They saw me as magical. I didn't even have to fight for it. Then fear came, and they chased me away. And they thought that I was stealing their lives away to stay young.
The prehistoric origin of the vampire myth. That is good.
First 1,000 years, I didn't know up from sideways.
How do you know the first 1,000 years?
An informed guess, based on what I've learned in my memories.
Most people can scarcely remember their childhood, but you have memories of that time.
Like yours, selected. You know, the high points, the low points, traumas, they stick in the mind forever. Put down at 3 or 35, you still feel a twinge.
Go on.
I kept getting chased because I wouldn't die. So I got the hang of joining new groups I found. I also got the idea of periodically moving on. We were semi-nomadic, of course, following the weather and the game we hunted. The first 2,000 years were cold. We learned it was warmer at lower elevations. Late glacial period, I assume.
What was the terrain like?
Mountainous. Vast plains to the west.
Wes, that's something you learned in school.
Towards the setting sun. I suspect I saw the British Isles from what is now the French coast. Huge mountains on the other side of an enormous deep valley that was shadowed by the setting sun. This is before they were separated from the continent by rising seas as glaciers melted.
That happened?
Yeah, it's the end of the Pleistocene. So far, what he says fits.
Oh, yeah, into any textbook.
And that's where I found it. How can I have knowledgeable recall if I didn't have knowledge? It's all retrospective. All I can do is integrate my recollections with modern findings.
Caveman. Gonna hit me over the head with the club and drag me into the bedroom?
You'd be more fun conscious.
Oh, John.
Let me get this straight. Now, we're not talking about reincarnation. You're not saying that you remember whatever the hell it would be 200 separate lifetimes, dying and being born again, yada yada.
One lifetime.
Some lifetime. Wow. Well, maybe there is something to this reincarnation thing. You're supposed to come back again and again, learn, and somehow, John, you just managed to bypass all the other bodies.
Well, what's the point?
What about oceans?
Didn't see them till much later.
So how would you know an ocean from a lake?
Big waves. Something else I can only surmise in retrospect.
Were you curious about where it all came from?
We would look up at the sky and wonder, there's got to be some big guys up there. I mean, what else made all this down here? At first I thought there was something wrong with me. Maybe I was a bad guy for not dying. Then I began to wonder if I was cursed or perhaps blessed. And I thought maybe I had a mission.
Do you still think you do? God works in mysterious ways.
I think it just happened.